Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 7th to the 14th of October. The books you can see here at the sides are from the oracle decks I'm going to be using today for today's reading. Your October monthly reading is up and available to watch on the channel, and if you've already seen that, then you'll know why this book is here. So I've said multiple times that I'm a Libra, and my birthday is on Friday the 13th of October this year. So this is a book that I ordered one copy of. I received two by mistake and I was told that I could keep the extra book. So I'm going to be giving this away as a birthday giveaway. If anybody wants it for free, then please send me an email. My email address is on my about page and it's also in the description box as well. At the beginning of the monthly videos that I've done, I do mention the connection between Friday the 13th and divine feminine energy. And I also mention a little bit about the connection between that and my birth chart as well. So I do plan to do a sort of a special reading on my birthday. And I also plan to do a few extra readings this week as well, as we've got Pluto going direct in Capricorn on Wednesday the 11th of October. We also have an eclipse, a solar eclipse and a new moon, both in Libra and both on Saturday the 14th of October as well. So let's get into your reading for the weekly check-in. We're going to start with the Gilded Tarot and we'll get your main theme or main focus and see what comes up for you. So what does Taurus need to know? That was far too quick, but that was the Six of Wands. What does Taurus need to know for their weekly check-in for the 7th to the 14th of October? You have the Five of Swords. This has been very, very common this week. I think a lot of signs have had this come up somewhere. Let's get your specific energy. You have the Page of Swords. And let's get any external energies. That was very quick. We have Four of Cups. And any advice for you. That's a bit too much advice, so I'm going to try that again. It was the Five of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Empress, and the Six of Cups. Yeah, that was a bit too much, so we'll try that again. So what's your advice or guidance? Try that again. Nope. Yes. Nope. It still doesn't want to come out, does it? What was that one actually? That was the World. Any advice or guidance for Taurus? Yes. Ace of Cups. Thank you. Right, let's get you an oracle card from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Okay. So that was quick, wasn't it? Right, we've got Nothing is Wasted, Vulture Spirit. And we also have Koi Fish Spirit, There is Always Enough. And I don't know if you can see the numbers on here, but we've got 63 and 36. So a little bit of mirroring going on there. Okay, so let's get your clarifiers out. So Five of Swords is like the main theme, and we often say that the Five of Swords can be about winning at all costs. It can be associated with rejection, I believe, as well. Sometimes it can be ruthless, like ruthless ambition, selfishness. I think it can be associated with manipulative behaviors as well. But let's clarify and see what comes out for that. It's not the most pleasant energy to begin with, but let's see why it's there and what it means. Is there something here about getting what you want? Because sometimes I say with the Five of Swords, it can be selfishness, but sometimes it's being selfish out of necessity because it's just a battle, isn't it? Sometimes getting what you want. I would say sometimes it's mental conflicts as well, although I know that they often say the Five of Swords is more about internal conflict. I think they say Five of Swords is more about internal conflict, but for me it's swords, isn't it? So self-sabotage, I think, is associated with that as well. So why is the Five of Swords here, please? Right, I did say self-sabotage. You've got the High Priestess, so that may be a possibility, but let's see what else comes out there. Okay, I just was thinking, is that in reverse? And it is. So we've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. Yep. Seven of Pentacles. This kind of goes, I don't know, I'm getting a feeling that the Ten of Swords and Seven of Pentacles go with that nothing is wasted card. I mean, to be honest, the two cards do go together. Nothing is wasted and there is always enough. Strangely go together for me. Knight of Swords. I do feel like that Seven of Pentacles is about learning from a situation, and then the Page of Swords can be about learning in general as well. I mean, it can be about truths, new truths, that sort of thing, but there may be something here about learning from a situation. Anything else? And then the Knight of Swords then has their truth. They share their truth. They're not afraid to speak it. Nine of Cups. Okay. The High Priestess, I think, is like secret knowledge as well, secret information. So there may be a sense of learning here. Right. I'm going to sub-clarify the High Priestess. We've got the Emperor. I mean, sometimes for me, the Emperor can feel like that Five of Swords energy. Like if it's in the lower vibe. I need to think of a different term other than lower vibe, but that's the term I'm thinking of at the minute. In his lower vibration, where he's being an asshole, basically, that could be the Five of Swords, kind of selfish, manipulative. Let's see what else follows on from that. So this is the main, sort of the main theme for the week, isn't it? I don't know why, just before I turned that over, we've got Five of Swords again. I was thinking of something about outsmarting someone, or something to do with being outsmarted or outsmarting. I don't know why that word came to mind. I don't know if I even use that word in my life very much, but outsmarted came to mind. Anything else? I mean, I did say that Emperor can be that Five of Swords energy sometimes, and it's come out again next to him, so anything else? Right, Eight of Wands, which can be about communication. It can also be about movement for me as well. And then you've got the Star next to it. Okay. There's still something here about outsmarting. There was something else coming up with that High Priestess that I was thinking as well, and I can't remember what it is. It, like, you know, the thought pops into your head for 2 seconds and then it goes. Oh, I think it was sort of learning the truth about something, or realizing the truth about something came to mind. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get something more on the Seven of Pentacles, because this one honestly is not feeling very clear to me. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what's going on here just yet. As I say, the outsmarted thing came to mind, and then yeah, that's about it really. Anything else with the Seven of Pentacles? So Seven of Pentacles terrified by the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Wands. I mean, that for me would be where you're assessing something that you've already put time and energy and effort into, but it may not be working out. This is a common theme, isn't it? Now, it may not be working out as you planned. I mean, you've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. I know it is in reverse next to it. And the Wheel of Fortune there, which suggests that you may have assessed something, but it feels like it's not working. So you may be deciding to choose a different path or a different way of doing something, a different plan. That Knight of Swords, it might be seeing the truth of something or speaking on the truth of something. Let's get one more for that Seven of Pentacles. Nope. Yeah, that's wanting to go to, I'm hearing go your own way, to be honest, but go a different route, do things differently. So the Ace of Swords here, it could potentially be about clarity or needing things to be clearer, or it just feels more like doing things a different way more than anything. doing something in a different way. I'm going to get something for this Nine of Cups as well. I know I am using a lot of clarifiers today, but I'm not clear on what this is, what that Five of Swords energy is. I mean, I've given different meanings for it, but I'm not getting a feeling for exactly what it is here. So let's see, Nine of Cups. You get the Hierophant. This Hierophant keeps on showing up as well. Why is the Hierophant there? Yeah, that's that doing, kind of giving a sense of doing it in a different way again. Because the Hierophant can be about rules, traditions, morals. And it's like the Eight of Cups is walking away, because that's not, I mean, you've got the Nine of Cups there. The Eight of Cups is always going towards the Ninth Cup, aren't they? Whatever this way is, this possibly a traditional way of doing something, it's not the way that you probably want to do it. This could be what this is about, is going against something. The Emperor, for me, I think, is the Emperor associated with tradition as well. It could be. It probably is associated with tradition too. But I'm getting a sense of, as I say, something about going your own way, seeing something for what it is and assessing something as not working and wanting to do it differently, having a different plan. Let's get one for that Ten of Swords. This may be where you've been putting effort into something and it's like it kind of needs to stop, which I mean, if you've assessed something and it's not working, then yeah, it's probably time to do it differently. Okay, let's take all these sub-clarifiers and put them away and see if the rest of the reading gives us more insight, because as I say, I full well know what the Five of Swords means, but I'm just not getting a clear feeling about what this is at present. So I'm just putting these back in the deck, the sub-clarifier, so that I've got cards left for the rest of the reading. Right, so let's put these on top of the Five of Swords. I mean, if you are going your own way on something where you may have, you may have worked with other people, maybe not, but if you go in your own way, sometimes it can have a negative impact with other people. I mean, is this Five of Swords your energy? Is it something that you're moving away from? I mean, it could be something like, if you worked for a company that was dishonorable, to put it that way. Say if it had dishonorable, questionable methods, and you may have been with them for a while and thought, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Yeah, the nothing is wasted card. I mean, this is just an example. It could be this, it might not be, but as an example, if that was what it was, say if you're walking away from that, the nothing is wasted is where you would have still gained some kind of knowledge or experience or something from that, even if it's something that you want to walk away from. So that in that sense, nothing is wasted. There is always enough. I mean, I know sometimes when we walk away from things, especially if we've invested a lot of time and energy and effort in there, we can worry about leaving it behind, that, well, it's going to be a loss, isn't it? Like if you left a job suddenly and you didn't have one to go to, it feels like there's a lot of worry there, isn't there? Because it's like, shit, what am I going to do now? So that's where there is always enough can come around, is that you'll figure out. It's not saying that the universe is going to automatically grant you financial stability, but you'll figure out how to regain your financial stability. Okay, that's just an example that I'm giving there, but I mean, it could be your situation. If it is, feel free to leave your comments as usual, but it's just an example. Right, so Page of Swords, I did say there's something that you could have learned. You've got the Page of Swords there. So again, it connects to that nothing is wasted card, where even if it's something you've had to walk away from, I mean, you've got a card of disappointment. That's an external situation. So maybe that example I gave wasn't that far-fetched. You've learned something from this potentially. But let's see, why is the Page of Swords there? And it would help if I turn the deck the way around that I need it. So we've got Three of Wands. I mean, the first thing I would say you've learned, if you've left a situation behind or you've assessed that something just isn't for you, one thing that you've learned is that you want something else and you want to pursue a different path. With the Three of Wands there, that's that card where we say it's waiting for your ships to come in. It's manifestation. It's where you've put intentions out there and you're waiting for that to come back. Knight of Wands is where you do go off on a new path. Anything else for that Page of Swords? You may have learned, say if you thought you were going for a dream job, and I feel like I've used this example before another reading. If you went for a dream job, and it didn't turn out the way you expected, maybe what you've learned is that that is not your dream job. But you've still gained some kind of experience or learned. Maybe that's just what you've learned. So it wasn't a wasted experience. Same with relationships. When we end relationships, any relationship, I mean, I suppose romantic is the easiest one to go to, but any relationship, even if it ends or you have to part ways, you do tend to learn something about yourself from that experience. Right, Page of Swords still, two of Swords. The Fool. Okay, so what I'm getting here, so you could have learned what you do or you don't want from being in a particular situation. It could also be that you are now ready and open for new experiences or to learn about which path to take. You've got the Two of Swords there, which can be about two truths. It can also be about having a decision to make. I would say, because it's in between the Knight of Wands and the Fool, it is probably more to do with deciding which way to go, which path to choose, what to do next. Because you've got quite a few cards here of choosing a new path or pursuing a new path. The Fool, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Wands, and then the Two of Swords for me would be the decision. But you may also need more information on which way to go, what to do. So I will leave that there. I feel that's a lot more straightforward than that Five of Swords. It is very likely that that Five of Swords is a situation you've left behind that just did not serve you very well. So let's look at the Four of Cups. I mean, that is the external energy. So that would be the disappointment of whatever what you've experienced. So what was this experience? What is this Four of Cups? Why is this here? So we have the Ace of Cups is there again. We have the Nine of Wands. I would say if Five of Wands energy, Four of Cups energy, that's probably what that has done to you. That experience has done to you, whatever the experience is. Ace of Cups, it can be about healing, but let's see what else comes up. So yeah, it's left you wounded, I would say, with that Nine of Wands there in one way or another. I'm getting something about pride as well, hurt pride with that Nine of Wands. Okay, hurt pride. Right, Queen of Cups. Anything else for that? I am getting an idea of what the Cups cards and the Lovers means, but give me a minute. No. There we go. Page of Swords again. And Justice again. Justice and the Page of Swords together feel like learning a lesson. They really do feel like learning a lesson with something. I mean, so something you could have learned. It's similar to what I just said about learning what you actually do or don't want, what you'd prefer to choose. Learning probably how to honor your feelings, or a need to honor your feelings more, or you got instincts about certain situations. You know, I don't know if I probably have mentioned this on the channel. Well, I've definitely mentioned the situation. I don't know if I've mentioned it in this way, but there was probably a decade or so ago now, there was a job that I started, and from the very first day that I started the job, it seemed like a good opportunity because I was kind of headhunted. And it seemed like a good opportunity, but from day one going into that job, I always had a weird feeling, like a gut feeling of just uneasiness and discomfort. And at the time, I was a lot younger. Actually, it's probably more than 10 years ago, to be honest now. It's probably closer to like 15 or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, I used to have that feeling in my stomach, that anxious. I mean, I didn't realise it. I would have classed it as anxiety or something at the time. I think I probably just thought, oh, it's just nervousness because I've never done a job like this before. But months later, that feeling was still there every day, all day being at that job. I never, ever felt comfortable. It just never felt, I don't know, I couldn't describe the feeling. I just thought it was me. I just thought something was up with me. And I can't remember which video I mentioned it in this week, where I used to go to work. After going to work every day, I used to go to the park and walk around barefoot in the park for about half an hour just to feel grounded. but I could never put my finger on what was wrong. And the way I ended up leaving that job is that a person, the person who recommended me and headhunted me, went behind my back and sort of created an essay basically of every tiny mistake I'd made. And so it could be anything, like even the smallest things. Like actually a lot of it was small mistakes. So like if I put one piece of paper, like a certificate, say if I'd put someone's certificate from a training course in the wrong place in their file, stuff like that, listing mistakes like that, but they went behind my back and did it. And I was called into a meeting with the manager, and although the strange part is the person had reported me for all this stuff, but as I'd been doing the job, I was constantly being told by the manager that I was doing a good job. I got on well with all the staff, as I always have in jobs that I've done. You know what I mean? That was my history of having a good rapport with all staff. Clients, there were clients, there was a particular not client, colleague from another site that they described as an arsehole, to be frank. They actually referred to the person as an arsehole and said that the person was very difficult. I don't know how, but somehow I ended up having a really good rapport with that person. Well, to be frank, all I did was treat him like a human being and treat him with respect and not treat him like an arsehole. I didn't know him, so when I spoke to the person, I just spoke to them with respect like I would speak to any other person, and I built up a good rapport with them. Strangely, had a good rapport with everyone. I seemed to be progressing nicely in the job. Everything seemed fine, and this person decided to come up with this essay of every tiny mistake I made, and I was called in. The manager basically said that I wasn't worth in. She did use the word invest, said I wasn't worth investing in because of these little mistakes I'd been making. And then I eventually did leave, because I did continue in the job for a little while longer. And this was one of these jobs, you know, when you take work home with you, like nobody knows you're doing it, but you take work home to keep up with the work as well. Because, you know what I mean? You've got, the hours were, it wasn't full-time hours. It was part-time hours. So it was cramming excessive work into a short amount of hours. So I took work home as well. I worked really hard as usual. And that happened. And as I say, the way I left is that I did continue for a while after I'd been called in and criticised and whatever. But I just felt like I can't stay here. It just feels worse. It feels worse now. And then when I did tell the person who'd made this report on me or whatever that I was leaving, you know the expression, the cat got the cream? That was that person's expression for a split second. It's, you know, when people say that someone has a mask slip, it was that. It was like they had a mask slip for a second when I said, oh, I've handed in my notice. So clearly that person wanted me out, didn't they? They wanted me out. So I think, what was the point I was trying to make? I can't even remember now. Yeah, I literally can't remember the point I was trying to make, but it's giving me a similar energy here. And I can't remember the point I was trying to make, but it's giving me that energy about honouring your feelings. That's it. So that gut feeling that I had, I've probably just wasted 5 minutes of the video talking about that, but yeah, there's a point to it. That gut feeling I have going into that job, and just feeling uneasy and uncomfortable months later, I should have known. If that continues for, like, say, probably 2 months is too long, but 2 months later, because I was there for several months, after 2 months, if you still have that feeling of uneasiness and uncomfortableness, something is not right, is it? Something's not right. And I probably should have started looking for other jobs at that point, but I didn't think about it. I had less confidence than I just thought, oh, it's just me, I'm just nervous, whatever. I'm just going to continue, I'm just going to carry on. But the gut feeling was telling me, no, this isn't right. And another thing I was criticised for as well, I have to say, is every morning I would go in, the other staff would already be there. It was a small department. Other staff would be there. I'd go in, poke my head into the into the manager's office with the other staff sitting there having their morning coffee, gossiping about random stuff to do with other people that have nothing to do with work, literally gossiping, and not in the most pleasant way, I would say. I've heard them saying some pretty unpleasant things about people. And I just popped my head in, said hello. I'd ask if anybody wants a coffee or anything. Go get my coffee, sit down at my desk, do my work. And I was told that I don't feel like part of the team because I would rather go and do my work than sit there gossiping about people that I don't know. So you can tell I'm quite bitter about that still, even though it happened so long ago. I don't think about it that much, but when I do, it makes me feel bitter. So anyway, trust your gut feelings. If you have a gut feeling about something, trust it. That was the point of that. So what was I saying? It's the Four of Cups. So it's where you may have been disappointed, and you are probably, again, that concept of learning what you do want to put your time and energy in. What it's based on feelings though here, with all these feeling cards, honoring your feelings. And I'll leave that there because I think I've spent enough time talking about the experience that I had. Hopefully that was helpful to someone out there. There must be a reason why I mentioned it and spent so long on it. So your advice as the Ace of Cups, well, first of all, I would say honor your feelings again. And when it comes to opportunities, go for the things that give you a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. And I know it can't always be perfect, but you have to try your best to go for those things, don't you? I mean, I know there are some times in life where your options are limited, aren't they? Say if you are unemployed and you are looking for a new job, and it's like, well, I just have to get something to pay the bills at this present moment in time. But then try and work towards something more fulfilling, or find other ways to fill your cup, basically. But again, even in these experiences where things turn out in a disappointing way, nothing's wasted. We always learn something from it. And you are enough as well. I don't know, I'm getting a sense of you are enough from there is always enough. There is always enough in the sense that you will be able to figure things out and work your way out of problems, but you are enough as well. I don't know why I feel like saying that. I guess it's based on the experience that I had, where for a very long time it made me feel like a worthless piece of shit, having a manager say, oh, I don't feel like you're worth investing in, because I'd made certain mistakes, which to me, I mean, yeah, I am a person who loves accuracy. I love to be accurate. So I was happy to rectify the mistake, but it wasn't a life and death mistake, was it? Putting a piece of paper in the wrong place in that person's file. It's not like I put the wrong piece of paper in someone else's file. It was in that person's file. So yeah, okay. Leave that there. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups. So you've got the Queen of Wands, and that is a card of confidence, isn't it? And the Queen of Pentacles is someone who knows her worth. She knows her value. So it's a strong sense of honouring yourself and honouring how you feel and honouring what you need as well. If you're in situations where people feel like they're draining you, then how do you deal with that? What do you need to do to rectify that situation? And if you can't, do you need to walk away? Can anything be changed? Can compromises be made? Anything else? So we've got the Three of Pentacles, and that would be where you work with other people, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's a sense of when you work with others, it's a sense of working together in harmony, I think, from that Three of Pentacles, whatever capacity that is, whether it is literal work or in your personal life, potentially, community. I think you're getting a similar energy to Gemini, where I said prioritize yourself. That was a main theme in their reading, about prioritizing themselves. You've got the Hanged Man there. And we have, and not the Hanged Man, sorry, the Hierophant. It did come up, didn't it, before? I'll have another look. Right, Two of Pentacles. Nope, am I imagining it? I feel like the Hierophant came up with somewhere, and that's traditions and following other people's rules, isn't it? So make sure that you, as much as you may need to follow certain rules within certain situations, make sure you sort of honour in your own integrity as well. Because the Two of Pentacles for me sometimes can feel like you're trying to balance other people's values with your own. But your own values should come first, shouldn't they, before anybody else's? So it shouldn't be a case of balancing. It should be a case of, is it in alignment, rather than constant compromising. That's what that Two of Pentacles feels like. Actually, it could be constant compromising. But let's look at that Hanged Man. Let's get a little bit more for the Hanged Man. Anything else for the Hanged Man? I would say honour your beliefs with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man can be about beliefs and perspectives. So trust that. Trust your own perspectives. Trust your own beliefs. You have Judgment. Right, so Judgment can often be about second chances. It can be about the review. I mean, it could be, I feel like the Empress is confidence here. Confidence and belief, and, well, confidence in your own beliefs. But as I was saying, Judgment can be about reviewing the past. So like the situation I mentioned, in previous situations, what have you learned about trusting your own beliefs, about having confidence in yourself? The King of Swords for me can be about beliefs and integrity as well, and your own rules. I'll get a couple for that Two of Pentacles, but I think we're pretty much done here, aren't we? The Hierophant again. Beliefs again. That's what I was saying about you shouldn't have to be balancing others' beliefs and rules. You should put yourself first and then take it from there. Right. Yeah, Two of Wands for me, it's often about choosing your path. And I would say whatever you're doing, you probably don't want to choose things that go against what you feel is your path, if that makes sense. Let's get one more for that. The Moon. I don't know, I'm getting something about hidden agendas with that Moon card. Where is it? We have the Eight of Wands. Something here about what guides you and what should guide you, hopefully, or what should guide you on your own path, is a trust in your own beliefs, your own integrity, confidence in yourself. Okay. Yep, so the advice is be confident, know your own worth, especially when you're collaborating with other people. Make sure you are honouring yourself and your integrity, your decisions, and let that guide you on your path. And learn from any past experiences on how to do that. So we'll put these away and we will get you a Sacred Rebels card as well. Okay, so what does Taurus need to know? And I believe, Taurus, you are a sign that is strongly about values, not just you are about physical, materialistic thing like security, our security and stability, but you are about values as well, and values can be moral values, can't they? Things that we value. Anyway, let's see what you get from the Sacred Rebels deck. If anything, I think I spent about 10 minutes shuffling this for Gemini. Right, so you have two very, very relevant cards, and these messages are very long, so I was trying to make sure I'm only reading one card, but I feel like these might be really important. Both of these might be really important to you, so I am going to actually read both of them, even though I know the reading is already quite long. Yeah, I am actually going to read both of them because I do know what they mean and I feel they're really significant here. So we'll start with Conscious Connections. This one's actually not too bad. This is probably one of the shortest messages in the book, actually, because all of the messages are long, but this is one of the shorter ones. So it says, there is a call. So it's Conscious Connections, this one here, if you can see it clearly. There is a call for more intimacy in your immediate relationships. There is an opening for heart-to-heart communication that can salvage and restore a broken relationship or friendship, if you are willing to honour your differences and look to what unites you. Sometimes it is hard to bear the differences between one another. One person may be willing to live life in high definition whilst another may prefer to live it more vicariously until they have the confidence to step onto the centre stage of their own life story. We are not here to judge each other, just to love, to be loved, and to let go of those that cannot accept us as we open up to those who can. This oracle brings guidance for you to trust in the sanctity of the connections in your life. If you have asked to experience a more sacred connection with people who truly get you and want to play life with you, rather than at odds with or against you, then this oracle is confirmation that this manifestation is on its way to you now. It may or may not be obvious at first, but kindred spirits are going to enter your life to help you connect with your deeper feelings and creativity. They will give wings to your inspirational ideas and big dreams. If you have been asking for healing in your current friendships or other immediate relationships, know that this can happen through your willingness to express your true feelings and allow the situation to either fall apart or come together according to the greater workings of life. Sometimes webs that have joined people together are broken, and that is appropriate, as people may outgrow what once held them together. Sometimes the ties that bind us together are so strong that they are able to withstand a great deal of pressure and still remain intact. The webs of connection between us will sever or sustain based on the higher wisdom of life itself. Either way, healing happens in the resolution of our feelings, and we are once again able to feel free, forgive, and be ready to move on to the next stage of relating either with a person who has been in connection with us for a time or with someone new. This oracle asks you to remain open to healing connections and to allow people to be close to you. Trust in the process that draws people in and out of your life. Resist nothing and seek wisdom in all. See, I quite like that message. I think where it speaks of being at odds with others is that Five of Swords energy. That would be being at odds with people, wouldn't it? And there was a lot I said about learning from past experiences. Let's look at that Free from Judgment, Free to Love card. I feel like these decks summarize up advice a lot better than I would. It's just obviously they are rather long. Right, so Free from Judgment, Free to Love. This is a really long message. I will warn you in advance, but it is a good message. Do I want to read this seriously? Because I'm starting to lose my voice. I may not read it because it is very long, and I know that it's all valid, but there are just parts in it that we don't need to go that deep into things. So it does speak of nurturing yourself, which is a way of honoring yourself, isn't it? It speaks of working with communities as well. Yeah, it speaks very much about nurturing. Okay, yeah, I don't feel it's necessary to read this, to be honest with you. I'm just going to see if there are any key points. The main message in this particular thing, Free from Judgment, Free to Love, is about nurturing. I mean, it can be about nurturing others. It can be about nurturing yourself as well. So I think I will leave it there for you, to be honest, because I don't feel like this is going to necessarily add anything more to the reading for you than what's already been said. I mean, it does speak of, as well as nurturing yourself, being open to being nurtured more from others and valuing yourself a lot. There's one line I would like to read to you in the book. It says about opening up and allowing others to nurture you. It says, you will get used to valuing yourself enough to know that needing love and affection from another is an opportunity, not only for you to receive, but for someone else to give, which involves them being received too. If you are tired and have been taking care of everyone else, then take some time to shift the pattern and allow life to support you. Okay. I will leave it there, actually. I feel like the Conscious Connections card had more to offer within this reading than the Free from Judgment, Free to Love. As I said, I've already said enough about this particular subject. So yeah, we'll leave the reading there for now. If you would like this book, the vintage book, please send me an email. Thank you for watching the video. I always say, please feel free to leave your comments, and I'm also going to stop being stubborn, because I always feel like I don't like telling people what to do, and I would never try to coerce anyone into doing anything. But if you would also like to like the video or share the video, please do so. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, then you're welcome to do that as well. But aside from that, take care until the next video.